we're going to try this for the first time, okay? Bring us in, Jeni.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente. Okay, that was rough, but we got it. We got it.
You forgot to warn me that I had to do that.
Well, it's better when we get things on air without you knowing what's going to happen because that makes this go a lot better. So, Nicole's been gone how long now?
How long?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
Or a month? 2 weeks, a week, 3 weeks maybe? Yeah, I think maybe about 3 weeks. I'm not sure. I think that's about how long. So how are you feeling about that so far?
I'm really missing her. What about you?
But no, you can't just say you're missing her. Like, what do you miss? Like, what do you normally do that now that you're like, now I don't have Nicole?
Call her 100 times a day or my phone rings from her. I keep pressing it on accident. It's so weird. But I know I don't even listen to the voicemail because as soon as I do I realize that.
You just pick up your phone and you hit to call her?
Under favorites, I click on favorites. Say I'm thinking about calling Dave or, my family members. I always just click her name because I'm used to doing it in the morning. When I get up, I'm just used to calling and see if she's up, or what's going on. And I'll notice it right when it's, and I'm like, oh gosh, and I just hang it up. But.
I find myself just talking to Nicole when I'm doing something that either she wouldn't like or be annoyed about, or when I need an opinion about something, I don't know. It's weird.
And how we had the wedding last, weekend. It was a spot, with Jesse and Ashley and you. And,
I was the fifth wheel?
Yeah, but I really missed her because I'm used to just checking everything out with her and...
Yeah, she's the one that you're bouncing ideas off or talking to about things and stuff. Yeah. And then she's here because she does social media as work. She's the one here all the time. So she's the one that you can always go to for things when everybody else has gone out of the house at work or doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me and her are the only two home. Yeah, basically home all day.
Yeah, exactly. So have you been watching live feeds?
No, I have not even.
You haven't?
But I did buy them. I gave Ashley my credit card and told her to buy them. So she's watched them on my account so far, I think, but I have not watched any live feeds yet.
It's funny because I did the same thing. I bought live feeds, right? I bought the live feeds, but I haven't watched. I think I tried one night right before, I was like, let me just see if she's talking about something before I go to bed. I didn't see her, so I just shut it down, but that was the only time this whole time that I've ever even tried to go in and look at the live feeds and see how that goes.
I actually need somebody to set it up on one of my devices just so say there is a comp. I don't even know how to sign in yet. I haven't figured anything out yet.
You had somebody else set it up for you and you don't even know the login and password and stuff?
Ashley texted me a login and password, but where do you go? CBS?
Oh, so you can download the CBS All Access app on your phone. And then you just log in there, and it's just literally you tap the show that you want to watch, so Big Brother, and then it has a tab that says Live Feeds. And so it's all just right there on your phone. I can set that up for you when we get off of here. And no, that was not an ad, but that helps out if anybody else is curious.
Yeah, no, Dave mentioned it. He said, I think he does how he does not know what Twitter is. He said, what's the live feed saying? So let me see. So he doesn't because I was just reading some updates, on Twitter or whatever. And I said, oh, would you like to watch the live feed sometimes? And he goes, yeah, I'd like to see what Nicole's doing. So that's why I should set it up because
this way you have access to it.
And that way he can I think he'd like it if she's in a conversation to
hear what's going on.
To watch it, yeah.
The thing that's hard with live feeds is you kind of have to get lucky because you don't know when people are going to be talking about stuff. That's the only thing. So, or you may have to watch for a little bit of time for a conversation to start to develop. And then what are the odds that Nicole's going to be the one in that conversation? You know what I mean? So that's the only thing with live feeds. But it is interesting to see what they're saying and what they're doing. But anyway, this episode, right, is after the first two episodes I've aired and before the live show tomorrow. So we'll get there. We'll get to our predictions down the line. But what were your takes on the first show, right? The episodes that aired so far. What do you think about all the people that are in there right now?
Yeah, they were pretty. I'm trying to think of who I was even surprised with. There was so many. It took so long for it to start.
Yeah.
That there was so much to read that I think every single person on there's name was at least mentioned, weren't they? Maybe not. maybe Enzo and Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis or the other guy that got out first last season.
David. I did read that he was on there.
Oh, you did? I didn't even see that. I wasn't very keen on the rumors. I mean, they have a lot of people that I didn't know. And I guess they also had some of those people, based on the rumors that I listened to, right? Some people got out. So some at least 2 people in there are alternates.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think I had heard their names like even in
the pool of people that
like
there were.
Keisha and like in there. So I wasn't what I did like and didn't like, but when Nicole was on first, it didn't even give me time to adjust, like right when I took, because she was the first one in that first group that they brought, and I was I would have rather you watched it with me, you know I was pretty uptight.
Oh my god, you guys! I went to go watch the show with Jeni and Dave and her brother, Nicole's brother, Jesse and Ashley, his girlfriend. But anyway, went over there and I thought I was going to be nervous, right? Just watching, my stomach was churning a little bit, but I was fine. But Jeni was about to throw up. Jeni had all types of nerves, and as we were watching the show, I told Jeni, I was like, I can't come over here and watch it anymore with you. You're too wound up.
Yeah, and I think just her coming out there first, she was in the competition first. Like I didn't even get a time to okay, CBS, let me have a few minutes to ease into this.
Like this is Big Brother. Let's ease into it.
Nicole's on. Okay.
Oh man, as I was watching Nicole do that competition, I was getting so frustrated. I don't know. I feel like if I was there and I'd give her pointers, I think she would have did better. But I guess at the end of the day, it kind of worked out as best it could, right? Because no target on her back. She didn't win it, but her ally is the one that won that HOH competition. Cody, who they've been friends for a long time.
They're friends, but they don't talk.
Yeah, but it's like...
But there's respect. Me and okay... The thing is, me and Linda, Cody's mom, are friends. So yeah, we've been friends since the season they were on, and then when Polly was also. So we've always been friends. We check on each other, not constantly, but a few times a year.
Yeah.
We, always make sure we check on each other, or even if Polly's doing another show, or like when you were on Amazing Race, we always check in and give support to each other. So so I'd say we have the better friend, the most friendship, but them two have a lot of respect for each other, the families. Cody really respects our family, and Nicole totally respects their family. So I think it's more like that. But I think that they would be there for each other no matter what. They're
Yeah, I think so too. And I think just because, and you're right, it's not like they talk every day, but they do catch up sometimes. And I feel like that's enough, right? Better than going in there with people that you have no idea who is, never played in the game before, and have no sense of trust or anything like that with. So I think when I saw that Cody won that HOH, I was like, man, this is awesome, right? Because now Nicole doesn't have a target on her back, and at least she should be safe, right? She should be safe.
Yeah, I was like 90% sure that she should be safe, but not still the 100%, because like I said, they... it's been you guys had him on your podcast recently, though. So
we had Cody on the podcast.
Besides that, it's been a while. So I was like, oh, but like I said, like when I talk to Linda, I'll give updates about the family, and when and I'm sure she does that too. So I felt 90% safe.
Yeah. So when Nicole and I have kids, I know we're going to do everything in our power to be helpful, to get them learning, be innovative and creative, to be critical thinkers. And I can't help but think that everybody else as a parent right now wants to do that for their kids. And how everybody's locked up in their house and being at home, I feel like that might be a little bit difficult, but not to worry, because we came across KiwiCo. Right? So KiwiCo, it brings the science fair and art class right to your house in literally a box. And what's cool about it is that they have it for legit all age groups. They have like the Panda Crate that's for kids like 0 to 2. And that has their age-appropriate hands-on projects, and it helps infants and toddlers build like a foundation for learning, which is really cool. They have the Koala Crate, which is 3 to 4, and it has things for you to play and learn. They have the ones for ages 5 to 8, which is called the Kiwi Crate, and it has like science and art. They have the Tinker Crate, which I think that's really cool. And it's for kids from like 9 to 16, and it has like science and engineering. Basically, all this to say is that the KiwiCo does everything in their power to help your kids learn. And it has math, science-based things, and it also has stuff for like the doodler, right? And they have, actually, that's another one of the crates, right? And it's really cool. And I gave one of these to my buddy, and I'm actually going to read you the text that he sent me back, right? I sent him the one, I think it was the koala crate. And then this is what he said. Yeah, she loves the pegs, and I like the cards for ideas and putting toys and treats in jars, have her figure out how to open the jars to get the prize. And he showed me a picture of her playing with it. So it's really cool, and I feel like, especially the ones when you get older where it's a lot of math and science-based stuff, it'll really fuel your kid to get them learning. Your children can get super cool, hands-on science and art projects delivered to their door every month. What kid doesn't love to get mail? You'll be surprised how high quality the materials are too. These are real engineering, science, and art projects for children. As parents, it can be hard to find creative and new things to keep your children busy and challenged, especially during those long summer days. KiwiCo does the legwork for you, so you can spend quality time tackling projects together at home. There are different crates for kids of all ages, like I was saying, and for every kid on your list. There's no commitment, so you can pause or cancel any time. All right. KiwiCo is redefining play with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line at KiwiCo.com/Coco. That's Kiwi, KiwiCo.com/Coco. And so what do you feel about like the other big players in the house, like Janelle? You know, everybody says, what I get frustrated is like, yeah, Janelle's a good player, but if you keep saying that Janelle's a good player and she's a beast, what does that do to her? It fuels her up as a good player and as a beast, and which frustrates the hell out of me. If I was ever in a game with it, I mean, when I was in the game Amazing Race with Janelle, I didn't have that mindset that she was like this all great player, right? And turned out that she didn't do as well as she thought she would on The Amazing Race. And Brittany and I are good friends, and I've been talking to her throughout the show too. But she also, I do think Janelle's a really good competitor. But I hope Nicole gets out of the mindset, because I've heard her say it a couple times that she's a beast, and it's like, don't think like that. Think that you're just as good of a player as her, and just have that mindset, and it'll help you get through the game. And
with me knowing Nicole, I don't really think she thinks Janelle's a beast. I mean, I think she, thinks she is a good competitor, but I think she's trying to fuel that to everybody else because she knows Janelle's after her.
Well, yeah.
So what if she can't just say Janelle's after me, so you should go after her. She's more like saying, she's a good competitor, which Janelle is a good competitor, but her seasons were so much older before the Twitter world, before the, everything is different the last 5-6, seasons of Big Brother. So I just think that everything's, I don't know. We'll see how they all do. I mean, the first one, Christmas and Nicole Anthony got it. And so I mean, it's just you never know. Yeah. And she's working with Kesar, who's also from an old season, and they obviously have some type of bond, and they feel like they have to be united in some way. And they both did the safety suite together, which was bizarre. Within the last 30 seconds. Only one of them should have did it. They should have pre-talked that out and said, okay, if nobody else is going. Yeah, it didn't make sense. Yeah. I was just thinking about when Nicole did the safety suite, who I would think she would save if she won that. Yeah. I was thinking that too, though, about Kesar and Janelle. It's like, you should have just let him do it. Right, or you do it. One of you two, because then now you burn both of your safety suite little badges. Which is good for the rest of the house. But yes, I mean, that's what I'm hoping. Like, if Nicole figures it out ahead of time, that they do it on opposite, weeks if two different people. But it's only good for the first 3 weeks. 3 more, right? Or I thought it was total. I thought it was 3 total. Oh. I thought it was first week, second week, third week, and then that power or that added bonus is gone. And so, I don't know. Hopefully she doesn't have to use it, but if she does, hopefully it's very strategic. And I'm sure she will be. She's strategic in everything that she does. But it's just one of those things where it's like, dang, because that would have been a great nomination. Kesar and Janelle first right out the bat, split that duo up type deal. And that all went to shambles real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to go home this week? So the nominations were Keisha and Kevin, right?
Yeah. I think Keisha, just because she doesn't seem like she's working it as hard as Kevin, but I don't, anything can switch at the last minute. That's just, I feel like Kevin wants it more.
Yeah, I was reading some of the. So for people that don't know, the Big Brother world is pretty crazy. And one of the things that they have is they'll have like Twitter accounts that will give you like a play-by-play of everything that's being said in the house and happening in real time. So if you're not watching the live feeds, it'll do you a favor because you don't have to watch all the stuff that's actually being said. You can just scroll through and see what's going on. And then one of the things I see Janelle is trying to work with Keisha to help fight her case to keep her in the game, and then to also like work against like Nicole and other players like my Nicole. And I'm like, man, at that point, as I hear that, I'm like, man, I'd rather Keisha go, right? Because it doesn't sound like Kevin's working against working people to go against other players to get out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for Nicole's game, Keisha.
Yeah,
Keisha is the one right now that needs to go. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. How do you think Nicole's adapting to the house?
I don't know. I think she's like having a little bit of a rough time. It just seems like she was pretty content at home, but I mean, she wants to do well, but maybe that's all strategy.
Maybe.
I do not know because
she's cried a couple times, yeah?
Yeah, and she was really good. She hasn't been
She doesn't cry at home.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. She doesn't cry at home, so I don't know why she's crying. I mean, the thing is, when you get into the house, it's a pressure cooker, right? Your emotions are all over the place. Every day you can go through a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, you're stuck in a house with people that you may or may not want to be stuck in the house with, right? And you have to deal with everybody's personalities. You could be walking on eggshells all day. You got to figure out what you want to say. And even just having an innocent conversation with somebody else can deem that as strategy and then be gunning for you for something that you weren't even trying to do. So all that can get to you. Nicole is like, what's it called? An empath? Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, she can read and feel everybody's emotions, right? Which makes her even more emotional. So I don't know if that's playing into it, but it's definitely taking a toll on Nicole. And I've seen a couple times, I get messaged all the time. So I appreciate everybody messaging me. So yes, I am watering the flowers, and yes, I still am feeding the cats. But she's been crying a few times, and I'm hoping that's strategy, but at the same time, I think she's being bogged down by everything that's happening in the house, and she just has to adapt.
And a couple of the people that message me, all the time too, which makes sense, and I didn't think about this, the first week is not usually on live feeds, and that's when a lot of breakdowns happen right the very first week, so we don't usually see this, and we've seen it right from the beginning when they moved in.
Yeah, that's true.
So that, they said, a lot of people, they'll hear later about a lot of people having a hard time that first week, so that could be it. Maybe it's always like this the first week. And
yeah, that's true.
And we don't know. Because she isn't the only one crying. I've saw...
Christmas, and I've seen...
I've read. I haven't really seen them cry, but I've read other people that cried.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it does take a toll on you. And once things, especially, I mean, I remember when I went in my first time, things were not going my way for the first few weeks. And I was just like, man, this sucks, right? And then when I got out and came back, I had the mentality of like, all right, whatever, I've already been out. And then I just tried to have as much fun as I could. I mean, I didn't win, right? So Nicole did. So she... At that time, I don't know if she didn't even cry our season really after the first.
Yeah, that's what she said. So I don't know if she did the first week, but she doesn't. I'm sure she was pretty stressed out because she was in that. Her team was the one that had to go for. Remember the first day elimination.
Somebody
so
on her team was going to be eliminated. Yeah, she could have. I mean, I know, but maybe she went game mode and she was just hyper focused. I don't know. I don't know.
Hopefully it's just. Hopefully, after this week, no more crying.
Yeah. Is there something that's interfering with your happiness? Is something preventing you from achieving your goals? BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. And you can connect in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. And their licensed professional counselors, They're specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, grief, and several others. You can start communicating in under 24 hours. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling. You can send a message at any time to your counselor, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video and phone sessions. And you can do all this without having to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room. It's affordable, professional, convenient, and anything you share is confidential. Okay, so check out the testimonials posted daily on their site if you don't believe me. Again, this is not a crisis hotline, all right? These are licensed professional. I want you to start living a happy and healthier life. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/Coco. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Coco. So as being family members of somebody that's on Big Brother, we have to obviously put together like a list of things that Nicole likes, HOH letter, and send pictures in. So if she does become HOH, she has something there from us. So is it weird writing? Because you've done this before. This is the first time I have to do it, right? So is it weird writing a letter to Nicole and not trying to be, I guess, cryptic or give information, or because I feel like people want to do. I feel like people have done that in previous shows, like trying to give information. But I don't know if that backfires, because it's like you don't know what. How are you supposed to know what they're talking about, and what if that's not even in the right timing, right? Because you never know when they're going to get the letter,
right? And my letters are really awkward because I don't do any of that. It's just like. Say hi, how are you, miss you, love you, and talk about a couple things we're doing at home, So like I was just doing mine yesterday and sending it, I was like, it's so awkward. Like, I don't even know, like, I feel like I need to fix it. And then today thinking about writing some of the stuff like that she likes to eat and drink, and I forgot half of it because I didn't realize it, and I got the letter. It said like Friday at 2 a.m, so Saturday or whatever, and it was in my junk mail, and I just found it yesterday, and it said they wanted the information Monday at 3:00. So I found it yesterday, so I wrote the quickest letter with the replying. I sent one picture. I need to go back to re-look at things today and add some stuff to it. I felt horrible. I was just like, oh my goodness. And Victor had mentioned Saturday at the wedding, did you get this letter from CBS? And the next day I looked at my email, I said nope, and then never thought anything about it. And then yesterday when I'm sitting there, one of her friends said that they got it. I'm like, that's really weird now.
That everybody else has gotten it except
so then
Mom.
I went through everything, and I get a lot of junk mail, so I went through it all, and I'm like, oh wow, I got that a long time ago. I gotta hurry up. That was stressful.
Yeah, well, when I wrote mine, I was trying to do everything in my power to not make it seem like I was doing anything, because I'm not. I'm just trying to give you a comforting letter. But at the same time, I'm not trying to build her up so when she reads this, people think that she's like a beast competitor.
Same.
Right? So you don't want to be like, yeah, you're awesome, you can kick butt, and you're so smart, and you'll do great. Like, you can't do that, because then she'll read that in front of everybody and be like, oh, yeah, that's a good reminder that we should get Nicole out because she has all these attributes, right? So it's almost towing that line where it's like, we miss you and love you, and don't worry, you'll do fine. I just said, don't worry about us, take care of you. That's basically what I said. That's the gist of what everything's fine at home, and I talk about the cats and, the plants and all that stuff, and, family's healthy, right? That everything's good over here. And not to worry about it, but at the same time, not trying to like beef her up too much to where, people are like, oh, well, maybe we should get Nicole out.
Well, that's why I sent a fresh picture, just from last weekend for a picture, because I was like, okay, this is a picture she hasn't seen before, and she can see we're all doing good, so she isn't worrying about us. Everybody's smiling. And
what I should do is I should try to get, so that cat, so we got rid of, we didn't get rid of. So Nicole left. I was with Polly Pocket for a little bit, and then I gave Polly to her best friend Mariah and Brian, and so she left. It was a very sad moment. I'm not going to lie. I may or may not have shed maybe one tear. But then I found out that I have another baby kitten in our garage, like a stray baby kitten. and I've been feeding it. It's been getting more friendly with me. It doesn't let me like get so close to where I can touch him, because I don't know if it's a him or a her. But now he'll stick around for a second, right? When I'm going to go give food. Used to just bolt and not look at me. Now like sticks around, is like curious because I feed it every day. It knows me now. And it's like, all right, maybe this is a good guy. So I'm going to see if I can grab that kitty and take a picture with it and send it to Nicole. Like, this is a new kitty.
Oh, she would like
Because she'll know it's not the black one, right? Because it looks completely different. She's like, wait, who's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. So what else, Jeni? What else did you have on your mind about the show? I know you're talking to me every day about stuff that you see, so you have to have something that you're thinking about, something that you've seen, or something you want Nicole to do, or who do you want her to work with? Like what?
I think she's picking good people. Like I mean, I'm satisfied right now. I seen she's working with Day. It says Day's not working. According to that one episode, Day acted like she wasn't working with her. But I think Day should work with her because there's no way Nicole's gonna go against her. So it's for Day's benefit to.
Yeah, I don't know what Day's prerogative, Davon's prerogative is with that, because it looks like she'll like she kind of wants to work with Nicole, but then she'll run back to Janelle and kind of work that in too. And I can see if she's playing both sides of the fence, but I'm not sure if she's transferring information to both sides.
I don't think she. From what I'm seeing, it seems like she's more scared of Janelle than Nicole. I think she feels that Nicole's being real, and I think Nicole's being 100% real.
I think so too.
Like even when we were talking about that safety thing, I could see her giving it today, just like as like I owe you,
Yeah. Well, and honestly, people. When Nicole was talking about how she owes Davon a lot, and she came on the screen, she was crying about it. That's something that she talks about a lot over here at home with us, right? She said that, I don't know how many times, that if it wasn't for Davon, I wouldn't have won. I owe Davon the world because she changed my life. Like the same thing that she was saying on there, she said at home multiple times. Am I lying?
No, and I actually looked because I have her accounts or whatever, and I looked like in her Twitter messages or whatever, and she actually, after the show, messaged Day a long message and said, thank you, I want to keep in touch, or gave her phone number, gave her her phone number, I really like to keep in touch. And then Davon didn't respond to that, but then 2 years later, so it would have been after something that was getting said after BB, I don't know, but it was a 2 year. I'd have to look at it again. 2
years later,
she reached out to Day again and said, something again, and then Day responded to that one, and it was just I can't even remember now. It was just
but they were in
it was something that was getting said on Twitter, and she's like, "Oh, I want you to let you know that I didn't. I don't know. I'm frustrated now because I can't remember exactly what it is.
But they had some type of communication.
Right.
Nicole sent her a message saying thank you for all this stuff. And so basically it's genuine. What she's saying is genuine, right? It's not like she's trying to play this game in that respect. Yeah, she might be playing Big Brother by trying to team up with Davon, but she's not trying to burn Davon in the process.
No, definitely not.
So if you guys haven't started playing Best Fiends, do it now. Try to catch up to us. Nicole and I, we were going back and forth on who was at the highest level before she left. I know now she's on Big Brother and she can't play, so that, sad on her part. But they're still updating the games, right? They're still updating the themes. I'm still creating my characters. Like, I'm still not creating my characters, but I'm growing my characters, right? Because as you play, you get tokens, and then you can upgrade your characters as you go. And it's so challenging that it becomes almost like you get hooked to it, right? Like you want to do more and you want to get better and you want to win the game in less turns. And it's always a challenge. I'm telling you, it's so fun. And don't take it from me. There's over 100 million downloads, so everyone is already playing. And if you're not, you should be. So don't miss out on this must-play game. Best Fiends has thousands of levels already, with new levels, events, and characters added every month. It's hours of fun right at your fingertips, and you can even play online. So somebody like me that likes to travel, it doesn't matter, because when I'm in the air, I'm still playing Best Fiends. With over 100 million downloads and tons of 5-star reviews, Best Fiends is a must-play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends, Fiends. Download it now.
Oh, when she first wrote to her, I had to open it now because it was going to drive me crazy. She just said she just started watching the season. This was 10/3/16, so this was like...
After Big Brother.
Yeah. Yep. And then she said, and I love your diary rooms. They're my favorite. Here's my phone number. I'd love to keep in touch with a bunch of hearts. And then it was not till 10/15/19, so 3 years later, when she just said, I wanted to reach out again. I still haven't watched the episodes past that season 3. But, it must have been when Day was, like, watching the show and she was the stuff. And then Day did reach back and say, I didn't take any offense to it. Thank you for reaching out to clarify, because fans will definitely create conflict where there is none. Hope all is well with a heart. So that was, and that was their last... That was in 2019, and that was, like, the last thing. So, I mean, Nicole did try to reach out, and then I think she... felt like Day wasn't ready for any kind of anything, and then Nicole reached out 3 years later.
Time, I'm telling you, time does a lot. Time definitely heals pretty much all wounds. So if there was any bitterness between them two, I mean, I feel like it's pretty cleared up now. And to Davon's point, when she's messaging back, fans do the most on bringing things out of thin air that have nothing to do with anything and trying to make it something. And then 9 times out of 10, the people that they're talking about, like, especially right now, if people are talking crap about anything, nobody in the house can respond, right? So you could just float a rumor out and let it be true because it's true because nobody's responding to it.
Oh, especially the rumor that is, and it doesn't drive me crazy because it's the people that are spreading it to me are like, the Derek setting up Cody and Nicole alliance. Derek had no idea Nicole was going in that house. Yeah. And I mean, when he's saying he had no idea Nicole was going in that house, Victor, is he telling the truth?
Yeah. He's
1,000%.
So, you know what? This is a perfect segue to something that I didn't even want to talk about, but I might as well just talk about it because people were curious. So anyway, long story short, Nicole never confirmed with Derek that she was going to be on the show. And then the cast starts getting rumored. And then Nicole's not responding to messages because she's sequestered. She doesn't have her phone. He tries to call me and ask me, hey, I'd be really hurt if she's on. She didn't tell me. This happened in season 18. I'm just trying to contact you and let you know what's going on. Me, knowing that Nicole's on, I don't want to respond to him until the cast is released because I don't want to spill the beans that she is on. And then he retweets that one thing that gets blown up into all these other things, all because he felt some type of way that he wasn't told, like he has to be told everything. Like, I just think that was wrong.
Well, he felt, I did talk to him for quite a bit after that. I think he felt like they were close enough that she shouldn't have lied. And I said, well, he said he was already hurt when she did that on 18. And he felt, like. Yeah,
but if you're friends, you don't retweet something that you know is not true. Yeah, and then make it seem that it's right, like it's true, and be vague about it. And then only recant that when the mom calls you, the mom of the person that you're trying to crap on, because she can't respond to you. Her mom calls you, and then I tweet something saying that that's a lie, with that the thing that he retweeted and that shouldn't have happened. And only then do you do an apology after it's been retweeted. I don't know how many times, talked about. It's already out there, right? So it can't be taken back ever. People's perceptions of it is what it is now, right? So all that was wrong. I don't know. Nicole definitely would not have been happy with that if she saw that happening in real time. That's all I got to say. But no. I got that off my chest. It is what it is. Yeah, and I do think he feels, I think he really did feel hurt. 100% his feelings were hurt. So, I spent talked to him for quite a bit about it. So, I do, And I took the blame for a lot of it because she was staying at my house a lot during those calls. And when he would ask her, I was, there, and I would say, don't you tell. He got you out on 16, I would tell her to press mute on the phone. And I would say, no, you do not tell him. Because she actually felt guilty. She did. And she did. I'm sure she said it to you. I know she did feel guilty, but she had no intentions on telling anybody. And I don't know. She does what she wants to do. And you can't, just because somebody's hurt doesn't mean they're allowed to do something that's wrong, right? That's not how that works.
Because that hurt that's going to hurt her when she comes out.
It hurt her way worse, and she didn't even have a way to defend herself. We had to defend her, right? If it wasn't for us, if we just stayed quiet about it, that would have been the narrative. and there would have been no apology or anything like that, and it would just stayed how it was. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm still not cool with that. I mean, I haven't talked to him since, and I don't plan on it. So I mean, I don't know. That just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm happy I was able to air that out and it be as it may. All right, so moving forward, what do you think? Who do you think Nicole needs to best align with after this HOH? Because Cody can't compete in this next HOH after, and we let's say, so we think Keisha's going home, right? Mm-hmm. So the show airs tomorrow. We think Keisha's going home. So you'll hear this if you listen to it before it happens. So maybe our prediction's right. Hopefully, because then, you know, that'll be a better game for Nicole. Who do you think she has to align with in this HOH? Or who do you think will be her best ally in this HOH to win it?
I'd say Ian. I don't think Danny would put, from what I'm looking at, I don't think Danny would put her up. I really don't think Davon would put her up. I mean, at the very least, Davon definitely wants her in jury. That's, you know, on her side. I mean, people might try to push for who I don't think she's safe with is like Janelle and Kazar and who else? I
know Chris.
Oh, Nicole. I don't know about Nicole. I think Christmas. She's safe with Christmas.
I think she's good with Christmas.
They
too.
seem like they have a connection there, and I mean, and she never. I don't even think she's ever talked to Christmas before she walked in the house. Has she?
No, not that I know. Unless it was like a message or something on Instagram.
I've never seen. And they seem to have a connection there.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But also, I think who else? So Nicole, the other Nicole A.
Yeah.
Is that Nicole A? I saw something that was like, oh, Nicole A got ghosted and didn't get responded to on a DM on Instagram. I don't know what that's about. I know they said that Nicole did, but we had Nicole on our podcast,
and Nicole likes Nicole likes Nicole because me and Nicole actually, I honestly really like Nicole's family, and we talk about it a lot, and like I will like show her the stories like 3 or 4 times like on her Instagram wall or whatever, and I'm like, I think they deserve their own sitcom because they're hilarious. Yeah. Even like they just remind me they're funny, you know. Yeah. I like their expressions. I like how they act, you know. And I think it was the timing. So I think Danny and Nicole's like that conversation got kind of taken out of context.
I think so too.
I think it was the timing because they were asking right before since March. I'm sure that they asked since March when Nicole knew she was going on and she did not want to do. Oh,
yeah, she was trying to avoid a conversation with that respect, right? So, but before that, I mean, we had her on the podcast. It was great. Nicole loves Nicole A. She thinks she's awesome. And so, yeah, and it was a great podcast that we had with her. She was really nice and it was good. So there's no ill feelings towards either way. So
I don't think so, but I think they made it awkward, just the conversations itself. Like, I think it was just, I don't know if they, hopefully, but what's really hard to follow when you are reading on Twitter is the Nicole A, the Nicole F. I like when somebody just calls her Franzel because then I know that they're talking because they'll write something that it didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, when did that happen? Then they're like, they'll fix it later. Oh, that was Nicole F, not Nicole A. Or that was Nicole A, not Nicole F. So
yeah, maybe they should just change it to Franzel. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because it just that's a little bit hard to follow. I really have to make sure they're talking because I'm afraid in the house they'll say. Like right now, Nicole Anthony had actually I read that she went back and told some stuff that Janelle said to Kevin, which I hope that don't get back that it's my Nicole that said that to Kevin, you know, to Janelle. But then I'm thinking, well, Janelle probably didn't say that to Nicole, so she'll know which one. But it's like in the house, because I read this morning that somebody wrote, which Nicole's in our alliance? That's what Christmas and Tyler asked, who's the Nicole in our alliance? Is it Nicole A or Nicole F? They don't even know which one's in their alliance. And it's Nicole F. That's like scary unless they're just playing dumb. I don't know.
That's hilarious. That's funny. So that's all I got for the Big Brother side of things, right? Big Brother. That's basically going to follow what's going on the show. But now, Jeni, I want to ask you something. I want to ask you a weird or normal. Okay, is it weird or normal to set up a campsite at your house?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna say normal because we just did it.
So basically, then this is the reason, because I think it's funny. I think it's a good idea. So Jeni and Dave, they've had a campsite at Campers Haven for how many years now?
Was this the third or fourth year?
Yeah, something like that. Let's
like
say,
a seasonal, yeah.
Yeah, so every year from, what is it, like March?
Was it May 1st to November 1st? I'd say that's about
so
that.
Let's say May 1st to November 1st, they set up their camper at the Campers Haven. They have a site there, little camp. They have a little bonfire pit. And they have the grill and set up games and everything. So that's the spot, and it's about 20 minutes from the house. And so on the weekends or any free time they have, they go over there. So I guess whose idea was it Dave's idea? Or
Yeah.
Dave was really pressing for it?
Well, he just talked about it once, and then next thing I knew, he's pouring a slab of cement at home.
So Dave is he's like, you know what? It'd be nice why don't we just do this at the house? He's like, we have all these people here, and it's all the way over here. We can just do this at our house. And so he gets the itch in his head, and then next thing you know, he's pouring a big slab of cement at their house. And so now they have the camper set up behind their garage or behind their shed. It's like to the left of the house, an open space, because you guys have like 5 acres behind your house, right?
Well, altogether, there's like 7.5.
Altogether 7. So so they set up a camper like right next to the house with cement slab, and they put the lights, and now they have a big. And then Dave's like, oh, this little fire pit that we had, this little small one. Why don't we add like a 30-foot around wide cement slab on this, and then we have a big old fire pit here too. And basically he got this huge itch, and now they have this crazy campsite right next to their house. And I don't know, is that weird? Is that normal? Is that the new thing?
The neighbors like it though. It does look cool. We have a lot more room to play games. You have to admit that, because at Campers Haven your sites are pretty small, so you're like you have to like pick everything up immediately, or you're...
I think your guys' next task is planting some trees to get some shade on either side. I don't know. I think it's funny.
No, the next thing, he wants to already pour a third slab of cement. He wants to put in one of those floor shuffleboards. Like, I told him we're waiting till spring next year, because right now we're even paid. We already put our deposit down for next year for our seasonal, because it's like $2,300 for the season. But this year we were lucky because we found somebody who
took
half of it, because it was the perfect timing, and she just was coming in, so she moved on to ours because there's a deck and everything there. So she just backed hers into ours right now, and right now we have the deposit. But I think he's going to try to get out of it. I think for some reason he likes, but now we got these 2 slabs of cement poured and maybe a third one coming.
He's in it. Well, the crazy thing is, Dave is one of those people. He's a jack of all trades, right? So he can definitely he got some buddies, and they just did all he had to pay was. I mean, he paid the guys a couple bucks for the day's work, and then he just has to buy the materials himself, and then they just do it themselves, right? So it's not like he has to hire out a crew to do all that, which would be like 10 times more expensive. So he can just do these things, and so he did, and it is a cool setup. I'm not gonna lie. I just think it's funny. It's like, we're going camping, and let's walk 30 feet this way, and we're camping now.
Well, and the funny thing is, last night when we were sitting there, he said, you want to camp Friday night?
Let's plan to go camping Friday night. All right, yeah, just grab a change of clothes, and we're going to walk across the lawn.
Yep, that's what he said. He's like, you want to camp? Oh, and then he had to get like an electrician in there, because he had to get the right... He did that too. He had to get all the right plugs put in so he can run the air conditioning and, have all the camper plugs or whatever. It is kind of funny. I mean, and I think a lot of it was kind of nice because of like with the COVID stuff too.
Oh, that's the best social distancing that you can get. You're camping at home. You ain't by nobody else.
Right. So we're good there. And
what I was gonna say is if the way Dave takes care of that camper, whenever you guys do sell it, it's going to be like in great condition for whatever year it is. You know what I mean?
We still haven't used anything. He doesn't. Yeah. We've had it, bought it brand new. Still have never used the stove. The oven, the
only thing you use is the microwave.
It's still everybody that walks in laughs because they said it still smells like it's brand new because we don't use anything. Like we literally cook outside. We do have an outside kitchen on it, but we haven't even used that stuff because we use our own grills because we have all the different grills.
Dave's hilarious, and now and I know he's so happy now because since you're at your house, there's no reason to set up the septic for the camper, so nobody's using, no toilet is getting used inside the camper.
Right.
You got the house right there, you got the shed, and you got the woods.
Dave likes to save everything. Like literally, we just got a new kitchen in the year he retired, and I really, really like my kitchen. But I got a new dishwasher then. Victor, how many times do I use my dishwasher?
Oh, man, maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah, just to make sure it still works, because he'll be like, I don't know if he thinks it uses too much water or what. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if I even go to load the dishwasher,
Like,
he doesn't say anything, but he looks at me like, what are you doing? But when we moved to the house, it didn't have a dishwasher, and we put one in, and we did not use it, so it went bad. So I'm not gonna do that again. This is a brand new dishwasher. I'm gonna make sure it's nice, and we use it.
He's like that with everything. I swear, every time I walk into your guys' house, it's like 1,000 degrees. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And I always give Dave crap. I'm like, Dave, it's like so freaking hot. And I'll start opening everything. I'm like, can you turn on the AC? And he'll turn on the AC for me sometimes.
No, he always has the doors open.
Yeah, he always has, but the air's always flowing most of the time. And man, but sometimes I don't know how you do it, Jeni, because I would be melting.
I'm so used to it. He's funny like that. He's thrifty. He likes to save all his stuff. He feels like he works hard for it, but I'm still like, who are you saving it for? The people after us, who's going to use this? Even with the the camper, it looks like
brand new. Yeah,
you can't even ever tell anybody who's ever been in there,
It's like it's almost like if somebody had bought it and then returned it, and it's like you can put that now on the lot, and be like, hey, look, it's hardly used. Because I'm of the opinion, I'm on the opposite spectrum of Dave. Especially in our house, I'm like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be comfortable. I don't care what it costs me. I don't care if I'm running the AC all the time. You know what I mean?
And it's not even I don't even think it's about cost. To him, it's more about, if it breaks, then I'll have to replace it. But I keep trying to explain to him, when you don't use things, that's when they break. Yeah. You have to use them a little bit, or the first time you go to use them, they're going to break.
You hear, Dave?
Everything's brand new.
This last 5 minutes of this episode is for you to listen to, Dave. Okay? Yeah. Well, thank you, Jeni, for being my co-host this go around. You'll hear more of Jeni throughout the Big Brother season. Thanks, everybody. And I have a review. I'm going to read a review here because, as I normally do, I read a review because you guys are what make this podcast great. I don't know if this is. Let's see. This guy's going to have a nice. I don't know if I read that one already. If so, I'm just going to read this one. This one's Love Nick and Vic, 5 stars by a name. It's not even a name. It's a username I can't pronounce. So excited to watch Nick on BB22. Go earn that money for your future kids, girl. You got this. Oh, and I love the pod. Relatable topics and fun guests. Simple, sweet, and to the point. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. The easiest way is on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. You can always go to www.cococalientepodcast.com, and you can check out our merchandise there. Don't forget to follow us at Coco Caliente Pod on Twitter and at Coco Caliente Podcast on Instagram. Thank you.